So you know a little bit about knives, basic blade shapes, lock types, and brands?
But there are a lot of knives out there.
And on this episode of What Knife Should I Buy, we're going to be talking about advanced folders. We're going to look at some less common blade shapes, more intricate lock types, as well as give you some great recommendations. So let's head back to the store and check out some steel. How's it going again? Timote?
Good.
And we have Mike.
How's it going?
Now, last time we were here, we were talking about entry-level folders, knives under 50 bucks. But that's not all that's out there, right? I mean, we got the 50 to 150 range, 150 to 250. We might consider those more advanced folders. So what are some of the elements that make up a more premium folder?
We're looking at premium steels, different handle materials that increase in value of the knife, things like that.
Different options, lock bar stabilizers, glass breakers, wave features, in a variety of different blade shapes.
Okay, so more specialized blade shapes. We looked at clip point, drop point, and a tanto last time. So what are some of these more specialized blade shapes you would be talking about?
One of them we have right here. This is classified as a hawkbill blade. Has a curved blade, like a hawk's bill, if you will. Also referred to as a karambit. Used for self-defense, law enforcement, and military use it to protect their gun.
Hawkbill is also great for just general cutting tasks. If you're doing general pruning or cutting twine or rope, that curved shape makes it a lot easier to stay on that cutting task, but it does make it more difficult to sharpen.
So it's kind of that hook and cut. So I like that. And another one that I've seen that I've used and I've liked is the sheep's foot. So I see that you have one there. Can you maybe tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. This is actually a sheep's foot. Has that nice slope to it without a distinct point on the end, which is used by first responders so they could, cut off clothes potentially without piercing the skin up underneath there.
That knife also features the axis lock, which is great for easy deployment, ambidextrous use. The sheep's foot's fantastic when you're using it and you don't want to puncture something like river rafting or floating.
Sure. And the axis lock actually sits in here. There's a rod that's set into the liners, and there's a spring. When it comes down, it locks that into place. And then in order to disengage the lock, you just pull down on this, and you're able to lock the knife back up safely.
Another good example similar to the axis lock is the ball bearing lock. Functions in pretty much the same way. When you close it, it releases the spring and the ball bearing rubs up against the tang, locking the knife.
Very cool. Now most of what you've shown us so far are folders, but I see that you have an automatic and out the front. So why do you have that one up here?
This one's strictly up here because of the dagger style blade that we see here. Cool thing about this is it has two sharpened sides to the blade. The other thing to note is that it's good for piercing or thrusting, but the downside is that the tip tends to be a lot weaker.
Along those same lines, you get either the spear or bayonet style blade with an unsharpened top, beveled swedge. It gives it a nice strong tip when it comes for thrusting or piercing. Not very good when it comes to prying, so you don't want to do that with these style of knives, so you're going to lose a tip.
Now swedges I know we see on a lot of knives, but the dagger, you usually see that on fixed blade and mostly on OTF, automatics. Automatics will be another episode, but what are some of these other elements that make up these advanced folders? I see carbon fiber on a handle.
Yeah, you get upgraded scale materials like carbon fiber. Maybe you'll do titanium scales, lock bar inserts, lock bar stabilizers.
Definitely. Or things such as Damascus steel or premium steels that are out there now that tend to hold an edge a lot better than the lower end steels that are also available.
All right, well, if you guys are interested in any of these blade shapes or other advanced knife elements that we talked about, check out our website or some of these great recommendations.
This thing pushes this thing. This slinky looking thing. Sorry, dude.
No, that's
I'm
good.
sorry.
That's perfect,
I'm
man.
sorry.
You know what I mean?
Why did I start like that?